unfortunately, he himself is eventually destroyed through that process. Another possible belief which may cause someone to remain not well, although he wants to be well, is the belief that I am guilty and I don't deserve to be well. I must be punished, I must suffer. So if someone has been programmed in his childhood years that he is inherently evil or not worthy, then it's very natural for him, even though he has made a conscious decision to change his life, to have this inner guilt which is preventing a change for the better. And the fifth possibility is something which I have seen with some people. Without my illness or my problem, it doesn't have to be an illness, my problem, I am not important or interesting enough. There are some people who their communication with other people is their problem. That is, if I don't have this problem, no one will pay any attention to me. There's nothing else interesting about me to communicate to other people except for my problem. And so this also, if I don't have that, then I won't have interesting social contact. Let's look at another sheet which you have, which has various strange figures. It has 3 faces on it. It says resistance to development, change, and healing. We see that there's a small unhappy face in the center, and that it says to the right, desire for change, and there's this happy face to the right, which is the target. And there are some forces which are working here in response to that desire for change. So we are that person in the center. We desire change. Okay? Now one force we see below is fear. Fear of change. Fear of something new, and also fear of how others will receive us if we change. Because we have gotten into very specific role playing with certain people in our lives. As their child, as their friend, as a person who does everything that the other person asks us. We get into very specific roles with people. And when we think about changing those roles, then we wonder, will they accept us? Will they still love us? So the fear of change. Another force is below there, resistance, inactivity, or habit. That's number 1 below. It says resistance. There are 2 kinds of resistance. The first kind is habit, that we have become used to certain thought forms, certain ways of seeing ourselves, others, life, and God. And we have certain beliefs such as I cannot, I will not succeed, I do not deserve something better. And so this habit of these old thought forms prevent change. They are like crystallized, like a crystallization which takes place in the mind, and our effort towards change is made more difficult. The second kind of resistance is the resistance towards pressure from others. That when others pressure us to change, when we have people around us saying, you must change, you're not okay as you are, there's a part of us which resists, even though we may agree. We may agree deeply within ourselves that we too want this change, or we believe in this change. But there's another part which resists, because we do not like being told what we're going to do. And we must realize that this is not freedom. Many people who have difficulty in their adolescent years develop a rebellious kind of behavior, or in a behavior of resistance towards authority, believing that they are free. Yesterday I heard someone in one of the groups saying, because I had so much pressure to study when I was in school, now in my work I leave everything to the last moment, and I have anxiety until the last moment because it's in my mind. And why is he leaving it until the last moment? Because that's freedom. He doesn't have to do it, but in the end he does it. And until he does it, it's churning in his stomach. I haven't done it, I haven't done it. So one part of him is preventing him from doing it, because then he is free. It's a quotation, in quotations. But the other part is in this constant state of anxiety that he hasn't done it. And so we do a lot of things in our life because we think that's freedom. Smoking is freedom. Not doing what other people want us to do is freedom. Eating chocolates is freedom. We have associated a lot of things, not only with pleasure, but with freedom. I'm free to do it. But do I want to do it? Am I free not to do it? You see? So we think often that we are developing a sense of freedom when we don't do what others want us to do. But that's also being programmed, because I am programmed not to do what others want me to do. And I am as enslaved in that programming as I am in the programming that I must do what the other asks me to do. Freedom is being able to actually choose when I believe it to do it, and when I don't believe it not to do it. So it's a mistaken freedom, this type of resistance, when it's a blanket type of reaction that I just never do what anyone pressures me to do. Real freedom is being able to choose independently as to whether someone is pressuring me or not. Be free not to do it, and to be free also to do it. The third aspect, which is an obstacle towards the desire for change, is desire for other things. That we desire change, we want to make changes in our lives, but we also are attached to other things for our sense of security. So we think that there are a number of forces here. I want to make a change. There's the fear of change. There's habit, the power of habit. There's resistance towards others who may be forcing me to change. And there's desire for other things which prevent that change. Okay? So the first phrase for this week is, I want to be free. And you have all written down something from which you want to be free. So let's use that phrase this week. I want to be free from this way of thinking. I want to be free from this emotion. I want to be free from this attachment. No one says I have to be free. I'm not doing this in order for other people to accept me. I'm doing it because I want to do it. I choose to get free from this. The second phrase for this week is that there was a time when I did not have that. Seems strange. Huh? There was a time when I did not have that. What do we mean by that? Life is a continual evolution of addictions and attachments and desires.